Hello, today I want to recommend a live album. The artist is 801, the album is 801 Live from 1976, and the label is Island Polydor. I am a big Eno fan. If you've seen my Eno video, you know that. I'm gonna do a top 10 Eno albums at some point. I'm also a huge Roxy Music fan, but 801 is kind of a supergroup, and I'll explain more about that in a second. But this was recorded on September 3rd, 1976 at Queen Elizabeth Hall in London. They rehearsed for 3 weeks. This consists of tracks from Phil Manzanera albums, Brian Eno albums, Quiet Sun, which is a Manzanera side project, and they also do 2 covers. If you don't know, Manzanera and Eno were both in Roxy Music, but here is the lineup. This includes members of Roxy Music, Quiet Sun, Curved Air, and the band Sky. But I think Eno and Manzanera are the focus. They improvised a lot. They also reworked many of the songs from their album releases to make them a little bit more live or spontaneous sounding. One thing I find odd or interesting is that they took all these songs from like Eno solo albums and Manzanera side projects and stuff, but they stayed away from Roxy Music songs. And that to me is odd. I also think it's a bit of a tragedy because I would have liked to hear them reinterpret Roxy Music. Essential listening. Here's the track list and who wrote the songs. As a live performance, I think that this is an incredible journey. And I think that this is one of my favorite live albums of all time. There are others that are definitely up there, but I just think this is amazing. I love how Lagrima opens it. It's such an epic and kind of strange way to open it. This flows beautifully into a cover of Tomorrow Never Knows by the Beatles, and I just love how it builds off of this. This is a really good cover. I think it's hard to do a cover and do the original justice, but also reinterpret it in your own way, and I definitely think they pull this off. The whole album here is quite prog rock, which is interesting considering that Roxy Music was more art or glam rock. They also do another cover of the Kinks' You Really Got Me that is quite amazing as well. But one thing I think this does really, really well is the flow. It uses ambiance to create mood in an interesting way, but then also rocking out when it needs to. Wrong Wrong is one of my favorite tracks on this. I think this is the superior version over the Quiet Sun version. It's just so smooth and dreamy. I also think Eno's vocals are much better than the album version, but this moves into 2 Eno tracks, Somber Reptiles and Babies on Fire, and these are both extraordinary live. I love the originals of both of these songs, but the live versions are just new territory. There's this really great sample, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. It almost sounds like people on a roller coaster. It's been altered a lot to almost sound like this kind of longing or screaming. I don't know what it is, but I just think it's amazing. There are other great moments on here. They end the album with another Eno song, Third Uncle, which is from Taking Tiger Mountain by Strategy. This is super aggressive, way more aggressive than the album version. It's glam rock meets punk rock. It feels sped up from the album version in a way that just rocks. The pros. I think Manzanera's guitar is criminally underrated. His work on Roxy Music albums, his contributions to Eno's first few solo albums, John Cale's Fear, which I will do a video on soon. He is just amazing. I think that there is an odd mix of musicians. It's like prog rock, art rock, funk with synthesizer textures. It's just an odd mix. The musicianship is crisp and there's tons of chemistry between them. It's playful and unpredictable. I would have loved to have been there. It just sounds like it was a blast. It sounds really fun. The cons. The only thing I can see is that it's too short. It's quite short. I wish it was longer. I'll say more about that in a minute. If you don't like prog rock, you're probably not gonna like this because it definitely leans into that. Final thoughts. I think this is almost surgical. Eno sings with intent. His voice is a bit exposed. In the studio, he uses a lot of studio trickery. Here, he's just, going for it. I think the production is very clean for a live album. Anyway, if you never heard this, I would find it immediately. One more thing. There is a collector's edition. It includes the original recording plus 2 more Eno tracks. And then there's a second CD with rehearsals. It's awesome too, but I love the original. But that's all I got. Links below. Have a good day. Take care. Bye.